can I just say one thing firstly? I love the name Eat Sleep Boxing Repeat.
Hello and welcome back to ESBR Boxing's YouTube channel. Delighted to be joined by Punch Out Boxing's Ra Hokum. We're in final prediction mode for the main event happening on Friday, 27th of June in Quebec City, Canada. As Christian Mbilli, the undefeated 28-0, Christian Mbilli takes on Maciej Sulecki. And yeah, a tricky enough fight at super middleweight. It's one I'm looking forward to. It's a good main event. Mbili's a very good fighter. I think up there is one of the best super middleweights in the world outside of, I suppose you would maybe say, the Canelo and a couple of maybe the big names in the division. But he's definitely a quality fighter, a world class fighter, and it's a tough enough test, I believe, against Sulecki, who has lost three times, but they were to Demetrius Andrade, Diego Pacheco, and Danny Jacobs. So good company. But yeah, before we get into it, please do subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're not doing so already. All of your boxing needs under one roof, with a plethora of content coming your way on a daily basis. But Ra, back to yourself now. Christian Mbilli, Maciej Sulecki, what is your final prediction?
Final prediction, I'm going to go with an Mbilli points win. My view on the fight is actually different to yours. I'm disappointed in it. I was planning on going to this show when all the talk was that it would be a final eliminatory against either Pacheco or Kevin Saggio, his fellow Cameroonian, who is, of course, French-based rather than French-Canadian-based. Those were either of them two fights I was really looking forward to. Them choosing Sulecki, really gone off Mbilli now. I don't think any of his wins are particularly stand out. He's been carefully matched, which is fine up to a point. But then when it gets to when you're right on the cusp of a world title, and this is being billed as an interim world title for the WBC. Again, what need there is for that, I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, not overly high on any of his wins so far. Don't see anything special in his abilities other than his nickname, which is Solid. Yeah, he's solid, compact, but not a particularly big puncher, I don't think, at the top level. Not compared to, say, someone like a Oslis Iglesias, the Cuban danger man. Um, so yeah, high volume pressure fighter. He's got an exciting style, I guess, which is why people like Turki Al-Sheikh has mentioned him as possibly being a candidate for that big card in September. But yeah, I think with Sulecki's best days were down at middleweight.
Yeah.
He's getting on. He's still competent. He had a good win last time against Akhmedov, of course. And it seems, to be fair, although he's never really been a big puncher, the couple of fights he's had at super middleweight, he seems to have found a bit of a punch, which is why I think he'll be able to keep Mbilli honest, and which is why I think it will go the full distance. But yeah, not as excited about the fight as yourself. But I'm a bit sour that I missed out on a Canadian away day because of the match.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is a fair point. I mean, I would have loved that Pacheco fight, for example. Maybe that is the one after this. Who knows? So in terms of that, yeah, it's maybe an underwhelming opponent for Mbilli. But yeah, what you did mention is I think it's interesting with Sulecki. You would say best days at 160, but then to caveat that, um, he obviously has, as you said, not known as a puncher remotely, but has somewhat found a punch up at 168. His only stoppage defeat was to Diego Pacheco in 6 rounds, I believe. So is there an incentive there for Christian Mbilli to maybe one up that, I suppose, because boxing Mars, maybe, if he was to, that's how we would look at it being if they were to fight next, would be like, oh, and Bailey stopped him in 4, Pacheco took 6, or vice versa, or whatever it is. Um, yeah, so you're going points. I'm gonna go for an Mbilli stoppage. I know one thing you did say there is that, he's 28-0, 23 stoppages. I actually don't think he's as big as a puncher as his record suggests. I agree with that. I think, as you said, carefully matched. Clearly got a bit of a punch, heavy enough handed, but I think maybe that flatters him slightly. But I am actually going for an Mbilli stoppage. I think as you said, Sulecki will keep him honest for a while. But ultimately, I see Mbilli getting to him mid to late, somewhere around, the 7, 8, 9 round mark. And that's when I ultimately see Mbilli stopping Sulecki. Don't think it'll be like a one punch walk off knockout kind of thing. I think if it is, it's going to be a maybe combination. He's stuck on the ropes, he's not throwing anything back. The referee jumps in, something like that. That's how I see this fight going. But I am going for Christian Mbilli, as are you. But yeah, we're just differing in opinion slightly on our method of victory. So yeah, maybe not the fight we wanted to see Mbilli in, but hopefully if he gets through this, then we do for the end of the year see him in a massive fight. If that is against someone like a Diego Pacheco, then that would be brilliant. And I would like that very much. Or if I don't know, if it's not the case, depending on what happens in Canelo Crawford in September, do the belts become fragmented after that, and does he just get a vacant title shot? Who knows? We shall see. But yeah, Ra, pleasure as always to be joined by you. Thank you for your prediction. Guys, if you're watching this, please do subscribe to the channel and check out the rest of our content, as well as liking this video and letting us know in the comments your thoughts on this fight. Are you a wee bit disappointed like Ra? Do you think he wins on points, or are you going for the Christian Mbilli stoppage as well? Ra, pleasure as always, mate, and I'll speak to you again soon.